Hello, let's read Sisters in Science. This is a book about Marie Curie and Bronia Dluska and about the impressive things they did with science. Marie and her older sister Bronia lived with their family in Warsaw, Poland. Their parents, both teachers, filled their home with music, stories, and science. But all was not well. Their mother and a sister, Zosia, died early of illness. Saddened, Marie and Bronia became determined to help others. Bronia decided to become a doctor. Marie wanted to become a researcher, but girls in Warsaw were not allowed to attend college or university. So Marie and Bronia taught themselves until a secret university opened. Marie, Bronia, and thousands of other young Polish women learned science, math, and the arts in private homes. To keep from being discovered, classes moved frequently from place to place. Soon, the secret school was nicknamed the Flying University. Yet, to achieve their dreams, Marie and Bronia needed to study in a real university, one that accepted women, like the Sorbonne in Paris, France. But how could they possibly pay? They concocted a plan. Bronia would start at the Sorbonne immediately, while Marie would work as a tutor to pay for Bronia's education. When Bronia finished, they would switch. Marie would start and Bronia would pay. Marie and Bronia made a pact. At the Sorbonne in Paris, Bronia studied to become a doctor. In the Polish countryside, Marie tutored children from a wealthy family and, another secret. Although it was forbidden, she taught peasant children to read and write. When Bronia finished her studies, it was Marie's turn. But Marie had changed. She no longer wanted to study at the Sorbonne. Instead, Marie wanted to stay in Poland with her family and friends. But loving sisters like Bronia don't forget promises. Bronia returned to Warsaw and reminded Marie of their dreams, their pact, and everything they both had planned. Soon, Marie was on her way. Marie was so happy in Paris. She had her own space. From early morning till late at night, she studied physics, chemistry, and math. She learned that everything, absolutely everything, from trees to stars to water, even our own bodies, is made of teeny invisible building blocks called atoms. She learned that most everything is made of combinations of different types of atoms, and that some things like helium, gold, and oxygen are made of only one type of atom. Those things, those pure forms, are called elements. She learned so much, and she loved it. After graduation, Marie continued to work in chemistry. For some experiments, though, she needed more space. Bronia arranged for Marie to meet another scientist, Marie Curie. Pierre had designed a measuring tool that perhaps Marie might find useful. He also had extra space in his lab. Pierre and Marie met. Soon Pierre wanted to marry Marie, but Marie had promised to return to Poland and her father. How could she possibly marry Pierre and stay in France? And how could she possibly leave Pierre? They were in love. Bronia and her husband, both doctors and both from Poland, had the answer. They would return to Poland to be with their father and open a hospital there. Marie and Pierre married and pedaled away on their bicycle honeymoon. Back at work, Marie continued her research. She read about a scientist named Henri Becquerel, who studied an element called uranium. Becquerel discovered that bits of uranium kept in a dark drawer for days made a glowing image on photographic glass. That image was caused by radiation, rays of energy given off by the uranium. Marie was fascinated. She looked for other elements that gave off radiation. Soon she found radiation coming from an element called thorium. Pierre, who had begun teaching at the Sorbonne, joined her investigation. As Marie and Pierre searched, they wondered, what made the radiation? Could something be happening inside the uranium and thorium? Could uranium and thorium atoms be coming apart and releasing energy? Was that possible? Yes. Madame Marie Curie gave the process of atoms coming apart and releasing rays of energy a name: radioactivity. Marie Curie, Pierre Curie, and Henri Becquerel discovered how radioactivity works. Marie and Pierre searched for other sources of radioactivity, too. They investigated a dark, greasy material called uraninite. They chopped the material up. They boiled it down. They worked for years. At last, from inside the uraninite, they discovered two previously unknown elements. They named the first element polonium, P-O, in honor of Marie's hometown, Poland. They named the second element radium, R-A, after the Latin word for ray. Then they rushed to tell Bronia. Marie Curie, Pierre Curie, and Henri Becquerel later received a Nobel Prize in physics for their work in radioactivity. Madame Marie Curie was the first woman ever to receive a Nobel Prize. Marie and Pierre donated some of their Nobel Prize money to Bronia's hospital. But once again, all was not well. Pierre died suddenly. Bronia hurried in from Poland. She comforted Marie. She helped her take over Pierre's classes. At the 650-year-old Sorbonne, Marie Curie became the first female teacher. And for discovering two new elements, Marie later received a second Nobel Prize. Then war broke out. In France, Marie developed battery-operated, portable X-ray machines. She drove them to battlefields where the machines helped doctors to locate bullets and treat over 1 million soldiers. Meanwhile, in Poland, soldiers received treatment in the hospital opened by Bronia and her husband. Finally, peace returned. At last, the sisters were reunited. In Paris, Marie established the Radium Institute, now called the Curie Institute, for research and medical training and for treating people with cancer. In Warsaw, her hometown, she set up a second Radium Institute, this one with Bronia in charge. All their lives, Marie and Bronia helped each other. They made a pact, honored it, and gave the world better ways to diagnose diseases, better ways to treat illnesses, and one of the world's best examples of the power of science and the power of sisters. There is nothing more wonderful than being a scientist. Nowhere I would rather be than in my lab, staining up my clothes and getting paid to play. That's by Marie Curie. And now there's a timeline. I'll hold on that for a little bit just so you can pause and read it over more if you'd like. Tells about when they were born. Bronia was 2 years older than Marie, and about her meeting Pierre and having children and so forth. And there's a place of where to research. On a personal note, in a way, it is because of Marie Curie that I began writing for children. I was in graduate school working toward my PhD in anthropology when an X-ray revealed a cancer. I left my PhD program, and after successful treatment, some of which was based on Marie Curie's long-ago research, returned to a deeper and earlier love, the education of young children, and then started writing for children. Mine and countless other lives have been improved by Marie Curie. Dr. Curie's discoveries provided the basis for much of our understanding of radioactivity and radiation, from atomic power to cancer treatments to nuclear-powered submarines and spacecraft. Many things in our lives are affected by Marie and Pierre's groundbreaking work. So the moment I heard from my friend Natasha Henry about the pact that Marie and her sister Bronia made, I knew I had to share the story of their special sisterhood with young people. Thank you, Natasha, for your guidance, research, and reading draft after draft. I hope that sisters everywhere will work together and each in her own way help make the world a better place. That was called Sisters in Science. Weren't they incredible? And did a lot of good things. And I hope you enjoyed that you subscribe and come back often. If you're interested in strong women and girls, I've got a playlist for that. And I'll see you next time here on Stories with Grandma.